Now we take on some seasonal gardening maintenance to keep your garden happy and in tip-top shape. So one of the tasks that comes around once a year or maybe every second year is with perennials. Now, perennials, I know it's a big chunk of plants I'm talking about, but let's go through some of the basics. I mean, this is Acorus, which is a beautiful clumping perennial. It's been in here for, gosh, maybe 4 years. And you will notice that with a lot of your perennials like Agapanthus, Dieties, maybe even some of your irises, it could even be pennicetums or even penstemons, even your Michaelmas daisies. Some of those, they'll look amazing one year, they'll look gorgeous. And then those which are just foliage, the second year or maybe a few years down the line will really start just going in reverse. So Agapanthus, a sure sign, not as many flowers during the summer months. Acorus, like this, looking shorter, more compact, it looks more stressed. And that is a sure sign that it needs to get lifted and divided. And folks, the best time of the year to do this is either autumn or in the spring months, as soon as the last frost, if you're on a frost area, has passed. And that is very important. So you've got to lift it up. We divide it, we make more, give it away, plant it in other sections of the garden, and rejuvenate the soil and get the young plants back in. When I talk about young plants, I talk about those that we have divided. When dividing any type of perennials, use a garden fork, not a garden spade. Garden forks work better. They get in between the roots instead of snapping off the roots of your perennials. By doing this, you then reduce the transplant stress when you're going to put them back into the garden. Always important, make sure that you're keeping your mess to a minimum. So I always put down a bit of weed control fabric, and that I can really pop it down on, and it makes cleaning up a whole lot easier. When dividing your plants that you've removed with your garden fork, use a sharp pair of secateurs to divide them as you are busy breaking up the large clumps. And whilst you're in the process, cut away any dead roots at the same time. Try not to reduce the clumps to too small a size. This will then just put more pressure on them for the following season. So don't get too stingy, don't try and divide them up into, making 100 loaves out of one loaf. So cut them into fair size or break them up into fair size chunks. And then, of course, it's getting them back in as quickly as possible, so don't let them lie out in the sun. Fix the soil, add in some compost, and then a good watering.